All right, well, peace, peace, peace. First and foremost, hopefully the Most High in your house has blessing your day. By his mercies, we are consumed. We're alive in the Most High in your house has body. And two are naturally alive, man. And I'm going to get into this, man. This is kind of impromptu. I want to kind of talk about a lot of other things, man. We want to talk about a lot of other things, but, shoot, a lot. But also for time's sake, too, as well. But also, too, man, like, this whole thing, man, with like the brother. I actually fell asleep on the rest of midway through the class last night. I mean, the video last night. But the shout out to brother sent me the first one because he somebody in the comments said like how this whole I haven't been paying attention to it because I don't really care the whole Diddy Cassie thing trial and stuff like that. How that's been And they said pretty much somebody compared it to the Samson and Delilah story. I'm like, listen, man, and the thing about it is like the brothers to the December first one said last night. He kind of delved into it, it's really disrespectful with the Most High house shot, man, and because to compare somebody like that, that's just not, they're not equivalent at all, because I get what the point is, the weakness, the quote unquote weakness for the women, but the pretty much what Samson did really was a war tactic, because I was actually reading the Art of War yesterday, which pretty much they get out of the Art of War, pretty much got majority of the principles from the word, man, because Exodus 15, the Most High in your house, he's a man of war, So that's is what it is. They're men of war pretty much. Like Wisdom Solomon goes into as well for Yahushua in Exodus 15. But they're on one accord, so they're the same type of deal. But yeah, man. So that goes in that. But that was a war tactic as well, man. Because listen, to kind of what's the word that I'm looking for? Oh my gosh, it starts with I. Oh my gosh, not intrude. God dang. To get under the Philistines, man. That's what it was, man. It was a war tactic, man. To take the women just to overcome them, man. Honestly. So, that's just what that was, man. We're gonna look at some of this stuff, man. But I really want to go into because he went into it last night, but but I'm gonna look at the whole Samson Delilah, how it lines up with Yahushua, man, the Most High Yahushua, man, how it lines up with the gospel and the testimony, how it lines up even with us, honestly, man. How being the bride of Christ, being the bride of the Most High Yahushua, being the bride of that, how that lines up with that. But damn, oh my gosh, I'm still thinking about that word I was looking for. Damn, I can't think. It's cool. But yeah, man. But that was all pretty much what it is. But even yeah. Yeah, because this is all pretty much of no, let's go to Judges 14 verse 4. Let's get into it. Because, let's just say this beforehand. The whole Samson story, man, because think about it, right? Samson, he him dying, pretty much, he did, it was a war tactic. Him dying, his death was, war tactic. It wasn't a suicide yet, but it's I think of DMX crime story. Y'all ever heard the song, where at the end, he comes up when he's on the run, and he's tired of running, so, he comes up with a bomb-proof vest to precinct downtown. He's like, listen, I'm gonna die, but I'm taking everything, all these officers and cops and all the law enforcement with me. That's kind of how what Samson did. He's taking not only I'm going to die, but I'm taking all these Philistines with me, pretty much. That's a war tactic. But also, too, even in that lines up with the testimony of Yahushua. Even, listen, in his death, he saved a bunch of people, but even though this time Samson didn't see it though, but Yahushua saw it, even though his death would save a lot of people from sin and death, man. Honestly, man, that's what, because think about Samson being blindfolded, but then they blindfolded Yahushua when he was on the stake, when he was on the cross. So yeah, man, it's all lines up with with Yahushua, but let's get Judges chapter 14 verse 4. It says, let's start at verse 3. It says, then his father and his mother said unto him, is there never a woman among thy brethren, among the daughters of thy brethren, or among thy people, or to take a wife of the uncircumcised Philistines? And Samson said unto the father, get her for me, for she pleases me well. But his father and his mother knew not that it was of the Lord. that he sought the occasion against the Philistines. For the time of Philistines had dominion over Israel. So yeah, just like sin and death had dominion, like but also too. But this lines up with actually in the gospel, man. Let's go into this. That the fact that the parents didn't know like what he said, because they didn't know at the time Yahushua was came to save us from sin and death. We was like during the time our forefathers, our ancestors, we was looking for another king like David, just to fight all these wars and take out the Romans. But that's why shout out to brother Kwame Cole and Shalimah, like had Yahushua came and did that the conventional way, we went right back to captivity again. But ultimately, we're in captivity to sin and death. Honestly, he came to save us from ourselves. Honestly, he saved us from that ourselves. So, but let's get this Judges chapter 14, verse 4. But his father and his mother knew it was knew not that it was of the Lord. He sought an occasion against the Philistines, for at the time the Philistines had dominion over Israel. So, let's get this Romans chapter. Not Romans. Luke chapter 2, real quick. Yep, because this is very similar. Luke chapter 2, verse 49. And he said unto him, how is it that ye besought me? Wist ye not that I must be about my father's business? Just like that Samson. That was about the father's business. That was the Lord's will right there. And this is going to Romans 12 and 11, man, how Child was just he was zealous, man. He for his father, man. And that's what his purpose was, man. But to do the will of him that sent him. But Luke chapter 2 and verse 49. And he said unto him, how is it that ye besought me? Wist ye not that I must be about my father's business? And they understood not the saying which he spake unto them. Let's go back to Judges 14 and 4. But his father and his mother knew not it was of the Lord, like the Lord's business, that he sought an occasion against the Philistines. For at that time the Philistines had dominion over Israel, just like sin and death had dominion over us, man. But he came to save us from that. He did save us from that, man. All you gotta do is believe, live according to promise. One, have faith in the Most High Yahushua, like you say, live according to promises and obedience to his instructions, believing on him as the scripture says. But also too, he came to save us from these other nations as well. Esau and these other nations during this time period, because Esau was empowered then, the Romans, anything now. But even now, but that's neither here nor there. But yeah, man, that's just is what it is. But notice how his father and mother, they didn't understand that. Just like the time they didn't understand what his role was, save us from sin and death, man. That's why he had the gospel has to be preached. It was preached during that time, and the time after he died up until has to be preached now, man. It's because our people need to understand that. Now, of course, is he coming to save us from these their enemies, these other nations? Yeah, but ultimately sin and death. Because honestly, that's what he came to save. Every he came to save pretty much every nation from that, man. Because listen, we not the only ones that need saving from sin and death. They do too. Honestly, that's why Isaiah says it's gonna be a prayer for all people, man, as well. Now, of course, in Yahushua's kingdom, the kingdom is not the promises go to Israel. No doubt about it. There's no debating on that. A lot of people debate on that, but most on Yahushua was clear who the promises go to. But other nations will be saved, will ultimately from sin and death. Because that was the biggest, even before we established as a nation, that was the ultimate enemy. That was the biggest problem we had, conundrum in the time in the garden, because he tells you the end from the beginning. That's why Yahushua is a priest, Melchizedek, man. There's no Levitical priesthood during the time of Melchizedek, man. So that's neither here nor there. I'm going to something else, but pretty much Samson's story. But notice with this Samson, right? Notice how you had to get you had to with Samson, you had to be married to he married somebody to be to save others. But this time for us, it's the reverse. We had to be married to Yahushua to be saved from sin and death, man. Because that's how, but also too, but Samson, that's similar to to Yahushua as well. Because listen, he took us at him coming down and taking us as a wife, man. Really, but he's a catch though, because a lot of times too, because the Most High and Yahushua, they don't chase anybody. They don't pursue anybody, because people seem like what I'm saying right now like that, where people might view it that way, but no, he just came down from everything that he had, but he got himself a wife, similar to Adam in the garden, man. Because in Genesis too, Adam had already had rulership and dominion before Eve got in the picture. Same with Yahushua, so it's the same similar reoccurring thing. But notice how you got to be married to be saved from to be saved, man. Like, from sin and death, married to the Most High Yahushua, man. But that's really what that is. So even comparing the whole Diddy thing to the whole Samson thing, no, not at all, man. It's just like I said in the video last night. Samson wasn't dancing in the videos. I'm not getting into that, man. But yeah, man, I just want to talk about that real quick, man. But yeah, and there's other aspects of that and notice how too, like just like where's that at? Just how Samson, like the Most High House comes in the volume of the book. Just like let's get it. Hold on, y'all. Yep. And here it is. Yeah, Judges chapter 15, verse 10. Yep. Just like, and here's the parallels. Just like we gave, like, Yahushua, like, Samson over to the Philistines. Same thing what you call him, gave Yahushua to the Romans, man. Same type of deal. Even nowadays, man, if Yahushua was on scene, we would do like the shout out to brother Assembly Firstborn. Like, like you said, we would do the same thing. We would give him to Esau again, man. He would be on the most wanted list, and we would give him to him again, man. So that's why a lot of times too, this is what it is. Like Judges chapter 15, verse 10. It says, and the men of Judah said, "Why art thou come up against us?" And they said to bind Samson, are we come up to do him as he done to us. Then 3,000 men of Judah went unto the top of rock Etam and said to Samson, "Knowest thou that not the Philistines are rulers over us? And what is that thou that thou hast done to us?" He said unto them, "As they do to me, I've done to them." And they said unto him, "We are come to bind thee, and we may deliver thee into the hands of the Philistines." Sound familiar, right? And Samson said unto them, "Swear unto me that ye will not fall upon me yourselves." Yeah, so we just gave him over to the Philistines, just like we gave Yahushua over to the Romans. Just like even in the beginning, even though they later repented, the patriarchs, we gave Joseph over to the Egyptian, man. We don't know, because the father was with the Most High Yahushua was with Joseph the whole time, but on the natural side, we don't know what those Egyptians did to him, man. So, but even though they later repented, man, with a contrite heart, with our forefathers, the patriarchs, but yeah, man, but just like now, had Yahushua been there on scene now, like we do the same thing. That's why, but know what? That's going to happen again, though. But it's going to be his servants, though, man. But it's kind of like doing it to him, because he said he should be brought for rulers and like jailed and stuff like that, prison and concentration camps, whatever, for my namesake. So it's going to happen again, man. But that's just is what it is, man. But it's really all him. It's not really like the servants doing that. It's all for his namesake, man, because of him. So it's kind of like doing it, like because like he said, man, if you do it to my children, it's like you're doing it to me, man. So it just is what it is. So yeah, man, that's what it is. But also too, it's the same reoccurring thing with again, like with the word, man, because during the time of today, because they said something similar, like during the time of like Tobit, man, when he's bearing it, like in Nineveh, when he's bearing like our brothers that was our people that was getting killed, man, like probably women's getting killed as well too. Our brothers and sisters, our people that was getting killed, man. We said they was mocking them, saying, "Oh, don't you know those Assyrians and stuff like that, they gonna get you?" But he didn't care, man, because he was just like the righteous, cared about like his people, man, just like Samson did, just like Yahushua did, like it is what it is. And it's too, man. Our people always had that spirit, man, like being fearful of these other like nations, man, like not realizing like one, our power is with the Most High Yahushua, man, but two, it's like that even happens now. That happened during time of slavery, man, like during slavery wars. It'll be like it's like it's like we like, cause it is too. And then let me say this too as well, man. Not all of our people were always like like they depict the movie was scared. A lot of our people did fight back, wasn't scared of them too. So let me say that too as well. But a lot of people, we just always had that, like that's why like Yahushua said that too. Fear not them that can kill the body, but kill the spirit. That is the one that can kill the soul. That being the Most High, man. So So yeah, man, that's just is what it is, man. But how even because don't get it twisted, man. Listen, the having that fear, having that spirit of fear and stuff like that, especially without the word, it's understandable. But see, this is how you get that, like through the witness, through the testimony, through the word. Like because they say Isaiah 40:29, he'll strengthen the faint. Like in Zechariah 12, he said he'll make the ones like the faint be like the men of David, being like pretty much having everlasting. In Isaiah 26:4, trusting in the Lord's everlasting strength, man. So anyway, that's it, man. I just wanted to get into this, man. Hopefully it's edifying. Much love to y'all brothers and sisters. So peace. Dang, I gotta go, but it's all good. All right, so much love. Peace.